Good evening, everyone. Today is the fifth session of CHARAKA SAMHITA. Ma'am will be taking the topic of Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya and Aragvadhiya Adhyaya today. Ma'am, you can carry over the session, ma'am.
Thank you, Arha. Good evening, everyone. So this is the fifth day here, and today we are also dealing with two chapters again, chapter 3 and chapter 8 of Sutra STHANA CHARAKA SAMHITA. Chapter 3 being Aragvadhiya Adhyaya and chapter 8 being Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya. So before starting the session, I would like to tell why these chapters are important and why these are really neglected in your theory classes. So the point being is these are very practically applicable chapters here. Whatever the concepts are explained in in these two chapters, these are very practical, approachable concepts here. But when you're supposed to write it in theory, this doesn't carry much of the importance because in theory the other part of Charaka Samhita, like the other chapters which seem to be understandable easily, those are given importance. And also about learning the basics is given importance in the theoretical part and also in your exams. But otherwise, when you start practicing, you will really need all of these. And in your fourth year, once you start, or in the third year, once you start understanding about Kaya Chikitsa, Roga Nidana, and the treatment part, whenever you start reading, that is when you will start understanding the importance of these two chapters, especially the third chapter. And about 8th chapter, it is all about Sadvritta. I mean, most of it is about Sadvritta, which is like listing out the characteristics of an ideal person who it is just ideal, and you cannot see a role model who is lively, whom you can see in life. So it's always an ideal person. So understanding that ideal person without having a role model in front of us is really very difficult, and it is out of our thinking capacity of how a person can really stay that ideal in all circumstances. We'll be able to understand it once we start reading the words written by Charaka. I mean, the amount of patience a person should have, the amount of discipline, self-discipline, cleanliness, clarity in thoughts, the scope is wide enough. So these are all like, that concept is like very, very difficult for us to follow because it needs a lot of discipline. So we do not see any person as a role model in front of us whom we can look at and say, okay, this person is the same as how Charakacharya has explained. Because we do not see, we feel like it is not practically possible, and because we feel that, it is very, very difficult for us to understand also, so it's just neglected. But at least if we try to inculcate some like 10% of whatever is mentioned in Charaka Samhita about Sadvritta, you'll be able to see lots and lots of improvements in your physical level, mental level, psychological level, confidence levels, and all levels, whatever the levels you can mention. In all levels, you'll be able to see lots and lots of improvement and success as well. So let's start the chapter of chapter 3, that is Aragvadhiya Adhyaya. Introduction to the chapter. The title says Aragvadhiya Adhyaya. So Aragvadhiya is mentioned at the first because to indicate the importance of Aragvadha in Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa of Kushta. So there are three kinds of Aushadha mentioned by Charakacharya, that is Trividha Aushadha. One is Antaparimarjana, Bahiparimarjana, and Shastra Pranidhana. So when we look about Kushta Chikitsa, first Antaparimarjana Chikitsa is Khadire Kushta is what he says when it comes to Agrasangrahaniya Adhyaya. In Agrasangrahaniya, he says Khadire Kushta. So in Kushta Chikitsa, when internal medicines are planned for the patient, Khadira is the best. But what about Bahiparimarjana Chikitsa? Here he gives the clue that Aragvadhiya is the best Bahiparimarjana Dravya in Kushta Chikitsa. So that is why he has kept the name Aragvadhiya and not anything else. And then at last we have Shastra Pranidhana Aushadha, which he says, because it is out of our scope of understanding, I have not mentioned in this. He says at in particular context, he says that because Shastra Chikitsa is not under my scope, I do not want to speak about it. Please refer to the Shastra Pranidhana Shastras, whatever is written. And then again, this chapter is also in narration format. There is no question, answer, group discussions, nothing happens. It is just a narration format of chapter where the Guru keeps on informing, or he keeps on giving out the information and the Shishya takes it. So this is about the introduction. Contents, we have Churna, Pradeha and Lepa, which are 32 in number. That is all is the content of the chapter. Total of 32 external applications are mentioned, which are in the form of Churna, Pradeha or Lepa. Churna here is in powder form. The dravyas, the Aushadha dravyas has to be given in powder form for external application. No more processing required is what he says. In Pradeha Kalpana, this Pradeha Kalpana is specifically Kaphavatahara. So any Pradeha Kalpana, when you want to add up in a patient, you have to make sure that the dosha pradhanata is Kaphavata in the disease. And this Pradeha is always having Ardra Guna. It is always wet. Ghana, it is very thick, and the amount of churna you have to apply on the affected area as Pradeha has to be thick, Ghana. And Ushna, it is always has to be heated and then applied Ushna. As the opposite of Pradeha is Lepa. Lepa is Shita. You need not have to heat it. It is Tanu. You have to apply just very thin. And Vishoshi, it is always dried until, it is kept for drying. While Pradeha, it is not kept for drying. It is Ardra itself. It is always taken off when still the medicine is Ardra. When it is still wet, you do not wait until it is dried. But in Lepa, you have to wait until it is dried and then only use. Also, the understanding can be Pradeha has to be used in Ardra Rogas and Lepa has to be used in Shushka Rogas. That could also be our understanding depending on the condition and depending on the application here. So, we do not want to go deeper into this because now that we are concentrating on the exam level, it is better if we do not go very deeper and just keep on reading the whole, all dravyas mentioned in all the lepas, and it is not required. But here I have mentioned what varieties of what karmas all these lepas have and how many of them are being mentioned here. So Kushtahara lepas or Kushtahara yogas are 15 in number. Vatahara yogas are 5. Vatarakahara 3. Shirorujahara and Nirvapana karma doing lepas are 2 in each. Parshvarujahara, Shitahara, Vishahara, Tvagdosha Samsvedahara and Sharira Dormandhyahara are 1 each. So total it is 32 in number. I'm not going to read out all the individual dravyas in every lepa that you can do with your textbooks. What I would like to do is mention a few of the important yogas which can be asked in any of your examinations, also which are practically utilizable. You can also apply this whenever you're treating your patients. So the first one, what I have mentioned is Manashila, Haratala, Maricha, Arkapaya, and Sarsapatela. It is in the form of Paya. That is the Manashiladhilepa, Prathama Manashiladhilepa, as explained in the Charaka Samhita. That is in Shloka number 12, the first half of Shloka number 12, Manashiladhilepa, first Manashiladhilepa. And then we have the second one as Tutha, Vidanga, Maricha, Kushta, Lodra, mixed with Sarsapatela and applied as Pradeha. This is Tuthadilepa, which is mentioned in 12th Shloka of Charaka Samhita, Sutra STHANA, 3rd chapter. And then we have Karanjabija, Edagaja, Kushta and Gomutra prepared as Pradeha. all of these three pradehas, the first three, whatever I have told here now, are kushtahara in nature. So these three are kushtahara pradehas mentioned here. If you are asked any question about kushta, or any question is related with Aragvadhiya Adhyaya, to mention the lepas or to mention the contents of the chapter, you can write at least a few of them, so that you are not either by hearting the whole of the chapter, but also you're not missing out anything. And then the next example, what I have given, the next point what I have given is for a Vatahara Pradeha, which is Chatusmeha Dashamula Gandhaushada. This Gandhaushada is explained in Jvara Chikitsa. You can refer that later. So Chatusmeha Dashamula and Gandhaushada prepared into a Pradeha and then used as Vatahara Pradeha is explained here, which is in shloka number 19th. The second half of 19th shloka is this Vatahara Pradeha, or Vatahara Pradeha. Next, Tatra Yavachurna Yavakshara is prepared into Ushna Pradeha, and then it is applied in Udarashula. This lepa is called Udarashula Nashaka lepa. It is, see, these things, whatever I am mentioning, these are also practically usable because there are very minimum ingredients, but the effects will be high. So these can also be prepared as some instant medicines. If you have all the individual churnas, just mix them up and ask the patient to prepare at their home, however you want it to be prepared, like in pradeha form. Just mix the powders in hot sarsapa taila and then apply it over the affected area. Anything can be done because these are easily available for you. I'm just mentioning all of these. If you see any aushadhi which has lot of dravyas in that, it is difficult for you to prepare also on spot. But these kind of minimum ingredient aushadhas you can also prepare in the OPD basis. Just give them mixed with all the powders, ask them to prepare at home, and it is also possible for them to get good benefits out of this. Next we have Kushta, Shatahva, Yavachurna, Taila prepared into Lepa. This is used in Vatavyadhi. Next is Ghrita, Godhuma Churna, Chagapaya, prepared into Pradeha, which is used in Vatarakta. All of them are mentioned in our Charaka Samhita itself. You can just go through that and mark wherever it is mentioned. Vataraktahara Lepa, and then the next one is Sharira Daurkhandyahara Lepa, Pradeha, sorry. Patra, Gandhabala, Lodhra, Abhaya, and Chandana prepared into Pradeha and applied all over the body for getting rid of the Sharira Durgandha. Next we have Vishanashaka Lepa, which is just with two ingredients, Shrisha and Nirgundi. So you can go through about all the other lepas and pradehas and churnas mentioned in the chapter and check on whichever is possible for you to remember. But these are very few, whatever I have mentioned. Go through all of them and mark whatever is important. See, the point of not mentioning all of them is also another point about these are not asked in your RQHS examination very, very frequently. Very rarely it is asked. And obviously, you also have the options to skip a question and answer the other ones. So this is not given much of importance regarding with respect to the RGHS examinations or the annual examinations, whatever you get. But otherwise, practically, when you sit in the clinic, every day is an exam. So for that, at least you'll have to know. Okay. So we come to the end of that chapter of Aragvadhiya Adhyaya. Next, we have Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya. That is the 8th chapter. You can open the Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya so that we can mark whatever is important. See, this Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya, a part of it has about Padartha Vijnana, a part of it has about Sadvritta, a part of it has about, what do you say, Ahara also, a part of it has about Vihara, Ahara, Vihara, Achara, and here. So a part of it you might have already studied what I said about Padartha Vijnana, because we'll see what is there. So introduction to the chapter is Indriya Upakramana. Indriya is all the 5 sense organs, what we have understood. Upakramana is to have control over the Indriyas. Until now, we have read about in the 7th chapter, the 6th chapter, and 5th chapter, we have understood about all Svasthavritta, how to eat, how not to eat, what not to eat, how we are supposed to modify our ahara vihara according to the rutus, according to the Agni, Bala, Matra, Kala, everything is written until now. We have studied all of that. But now we come to the last part of controlling our Indriya. Having control over our Indriyas is very, very important. So that is why the chapter name itself is called Indriya Upakramana and not related to any Swasthavritta. Though majority of the concept is about Swasthavritta itself, the chapter name is kept as Indriya Upakramana just to mention about the importance of the Indriyas here. So the next topic is about contents of the chapter, where he says about Indriya Panchapanchaka, Manas. There is also explanation about Manas. There is also explanation about the 4 kinds of Hetus and Swasthavritta. Next, the first topic explained here is Indriya Panchapanchaka. This is one of your Padartha Vijnana question also, Padartha Vijnana topic also. So if you learn this one concept here, you can utilize it in your Padartha Vijnana as well as here in CHARAKA SAMHITA questions. So this Indriya Panchaka is there are 5 Indriyas and there are 5 things about Indriyas. That is why it is called Indriya Panchapanchaka, 5 into 5 about any Indriya you take. One Indriya, there are 5 concepts to learn about. 5 Indriyas, 5 concepts to learn about. Okay. So first one is there are 5 Indriyas: Chakshu, Shrotra, Dhrana, Rasana, and Sparshana. These are the 5 Indriyas. Indriya Dravyas are again 5. For every Indriya, we have one Indriya Dravya. For Chakshur Indriya, it is Tejas. Indriya Dravya here is about what is responsible or what is the major constituent of that particular Indriya. It is about major constituent and not the only constituent. This is what you have to remember. So when we say Tejas is the Indriya Dravya of Chakshu, what we understand is Tejo Mahabhuta is having the Pradhanata, but all the other 4 has its equal parts. So if you take an example of 100% of Indriya Dravya, 50% could be of the Tejo Mahabhuta, and the other 50% is divided by the all other 4 all other 4 Mahabhutas. So total it is Pancha Mahabhuta itself, but Chakshurindriya has Pradhanata of Tejo Mahabhuta, but it also contains the other 4 Mahabhutas along with that. Okay, that is the meaning of Indriya Dravya. Indriya Dravya does not mean that, okay, whole of Chakshurindriya is made up of only Tejo Mahabhuta. It is not like that. It is to tell that Pradhanata is of Tejo Mahabhuta, but all the others are also present there. Okay. Next is Shrotra Indriya. Akasha is the Indriya Dravya. Dhrana Prithvi. Rasana is Jala. Sparshana is Vayu. Next, Indriya Adhisthana. Indriya Adhisthana means the anatomical place or the place where this Indriya is present. That is Netra, Nasika, Karna, Jihva, and Tvacha. These are the places where this Indriya is situated. Next, Indriya Artha. Artha is what you get from that particular Indriya. With the help of Chakshur Indriya, what do you get? What you get is Rupa. Okay, you're able to see. That is, you are able to visualize whatever is there. That is called Rupa. The vision is called Rupa. So only if you see, you will be able to get the Rupa. But if you hear, will you be able to see the vision? No. You don't get the vision by hearing. You will be able to hear if you hear, right? Okay. So Shrotra will have Shabda as Indriyartha, noise. Ghrana will have gandha. You'll be able to smell with the nose. You'll be able to taste with the help of your tongue. You'll be able to feel with the help of your uh, skin. So these are the Indriyartha. Whatever the sensory uh, inputs you get is called the Indriya Artha. Okay, sense organs are Indriyas. The inputs, whatever you get from these sense organs, are called Indriya Artha. Okay, Indriya Buddhi is the information what you get from Indriya. This is not what you can see or what you can touch or what you can make a note of. Okay, this is something, this Indriya Buddhi is what you can grasp. When you hear, what you grasp, you first grasp the sound, and then you start implying, and then you start understanding what is the meaning of it. Whenever you see any object, okay, when you see any object, you just see that there is some, okay, there is a book in front of me, there's a bookshelf in front of me, or there is a table in front of me, there is a TV in front of me. You first get the vision of it. That is called Indriya Buddhi. Okay, and once you start analyzing, that is what happens inside. Just getting the information is called Indriya Buddhi. That information is called Indriya Buddhi. So for every Indriya, you have Indriya Buddhi as whatever you perceive. Rupa Jnana, Shabda Jnana, Gandha Jnana, Rasa Jnana, and Sparsha Jnana according to the respective Indriyas. Okay, this is a very simple concept, but very, 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 very basic concept that you have to understand always, because this thing is what you can utilize in your clinical practice when you want to examine the patient. Okay, so if you want, you can just make a note of this tabular column. Also, you get this in all your textbooks also, but I'm just letting you know. If you want, you can get a screenshot of this so that you have a ready-made thing. So the next concept, we'll move on to the next concept now about manas. Okay. So this the explanation about manas is written in shloka number 13. So until now, that this whole tabular column has been explained here in the all other previous shlokas. So that is just tabularly mentioned there. Next concept is about manas. So what is manas? Manas is called atindriya. It is also known as sattva and also known as cetas. These are the synonyms of manas. What is manas? What does manas do? Is it connects with both indriya grahya artha, also atma, leading to cheshta. So there is indriya grahya artha. Like, say for example, there is a pen. Okay, this pen is indriya grahya artha because I touch this, I see this, I'll be able to smell this if possible. So this is indriya grahya artha. So if I have to touch this and understand, this understanding should also go into my understanding level. It also has to reach me properly if I have to understand it properly. Just if I touch, there is no understanding. If I do not concentrate and touch this, sometimes you're just walking around somewhere and you get hurt, and then you say, oh my god, I hurt this, because your atma was not connected with the part where you got hurt. That is why you do not connect there. You do not realize it. But later, when your concentration goes to that particular point, you will start understanding. So that understanding is at the Atma level, that self-understanding. The self is called Atma here. I mean, the internal you, when you have to understand. If you are understanding, then it's at the Atma level. It is not very superficial. It's at the Atma level. So this Indriya Grahya Artha, if I hold this pen, my atma is able to understand that, okay, I'm holding a pen. Because I'm concentrating on this, I'm able to understand. If at some point of time I do not concentrate, and if I just do something and I get pricked by something, I get hurt by something, it means that my manas was not concentrating on that particular place or that particular action, So I am not able to understand. Okay. Do you understand about the importance of manas here? This manas is like a connecting factor between your Indriya, Grahya, Artha and also the Atma. If this manas is not placed properly, if the concentration is not properly on the Indriya, Grahya, Artha, there is no understanding. If you have to do something, your Atma has to inform your manas and then you'll be able to do any work. If there is any work done and the manas tells to your Atma, you'll be able to understand. Okay. So the manas is a connector between your Indriya Grahya Artha and also about Atma. So this leads to Cheshta. Either if it has to come from your Atma to the sensory organs or from sensory organs to your Atma, there is some barrier in between or connector in between that is called manas. This manas will act as connector of both Indriya Grahya Artha on one side and Atma on the other side. Hope you are clear with this. It is the karana for Indriya Vyapara and Indriya Janya Jnana. As I told you, if you want to do any actions, it is the karana. If you want to understand about some action, whatever is done, this is the karana. This is the connecting factor here. Now, ekakala sarvendriya pravrittihi. What it means is, for example, sometimes you might feel like you're doing so many things, like about multitasking, or you're trying to concentrate on so many things, but it does not happen. And sometimes you feel like so many things are happening at a time, but you're also able to understand so many things at a time again. So many things are happening, you're also able to understand all of those, whatever is happening. So you feel like, okay, I'm able to concentrate on every single thing, whatever is happening here. So, okay, my manas has, what do you say? It is present everywhere. Do you feel like that? If you feel that way, then it's an illusion, because na ekakala sarvendriya pravrittihi. This manas cannot connect itself to all indriyas at the same time. It always connects one after the other. Okay. So, for example, if you are sitting and listening to this lecture now, imagine at some point of time your legs were shaking. At some point of time your thighs were itching. At some point of time your back was aching. Your head was itching. You felt like itching somewhere. But did you do that with consciousness? No. Maybe you were tapping your feet. Did you do that consciously? No. Now when you think back, okay, yeah, I was doing, right? This is what you feel. So your manas was not there, but there was action going on. But you didn't realize that because your manas, your concentration was not there. Okay. But once you get that concentration to that particular part, that is when you understand that, yes, I did that kind of feeling. Okay. So because you are concentrating here, your Shrotra Indriya is concentrated here. All your manas is concentrated on understanding this concept. You're hearing to this lecture. Your Shrotra Indriya is very, very strong. Your eyes are also very, very strong now because you're looking at the PPT. But your legs are tapping, you're itching, there is some shaking going on, you're moving your legs, you've crossed your legs, you have sit in the position, some positions we are sitting. It could be anything. Your concentration is here, so you cannot feel anything else in any other places. But only if your manas goes there, you'll be able to understand. That is why na ekakala sarvendriya pravrittihi. Okay. Next, Satvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika Manoprakriti of any person is decided depending on whichever is expressed more and repeatedly. These two words are important: expressed more and expressed repeatedly. A person cannot be having only one Manoprakriti always. It is any of them, but more and repeated, whatever the Prakriti is expressed, that is the major Manoprakriti of a particular person. This is how we understand. Next, we have Indriyartha Sannikarsha. Very important point. This could be your 5-mark question also. So, this Indriyartha Sannikarsha is communication between your Indriya, Indriyartha, everything. Okay, we'll see that later. The definition is given. Manaha Purasarani Indriyani Arthagrahana Samarthani Bhavanti. What happens is, manas in conjugation with Indriya will only provide Indriyartha. If there is no conjugation of manas with Indriya, then there is no Indriya Artha at all. That is what we were telling, right? Your legs were tapping, your hands were reaching, you have crossed your hands, you are just holding your hands like this, you have crossed your hands, you are sitting in a very straight position. All of these are happening. But if your manas is in conjugation with that particular Indriya of understanding what is happening, only then the perception of Indriya Artha happens. If there is no manas with Indriya, then there is no Indriya Artha at all. There is no perception of whatever is happening. Say if you are listening to this lecture now, there is somebody who is calling you from the outside, who has been screaming your name again and again, but your manas is here. Okay, your manas is not to listen to something else, so you do not listen to that. Or say you are looking here, but somebody has passed back of you and they have went out, or whatever has happened. You do not listen to the door lock, what happened, or somebody opened the door, somebody closed the door. You do not understand it because your manas is not with the particular Indriya, or your manas is not concentrated there. If there is no concentration of the manas, if there is no conjugation of manas in that particular Indriya, there is no Indriyartha. If there is conjugation, there is Indriyartha. This is very, very important for us to understand. So, what all is required for us to get the Indriyartha is Indriya should be there, Indriya Artha should be there, Sattva should be there, also Atma. All of these in Sannikarsha. Sannikarsha is coming together. All of these, when they come into Sannikarsha, that is when we'll be able to see any kind of Indriyartha, or we'll be able to understand Indriyartha Grahana. This Indriya Artha Grahana is Kshanika, and this gives us Nishchayatmaka Jnana, a proper understanding. Nishchayatmaka Jnana. Okay. So let's go to the next topic, which is called Adhyatmika Dravya Sangraha. We have seen about different Dravya Sangraha earlier also, but this is Adhyatmika Dravya Sangraha. Manas, Mano Artha, Chakshu Buddhi, Shravana Buddhi, Dhyana Buddhi, Rasana Buddhi, Sparsha Buddhi, all of these. The 7 are called Adhyatmika Dravya Guna Sangrahas. Manas, Mano Artha, Chakshu Shravana, Dhyana, Rasana, and Sparsha Buddhi is called Adhyatmika Dravya Guna Sangraha. These are the Karana for Shubha Pravritti and Ashubha Pravritti, which is known as Kriya or Karma. If there is anything positive to happen or anything good to happen, all of these are required. If anything bad has to happen, all of these are required. Manas, Mano Artha, and all the Panchendriya Buddhis. Okay. So, this concept is repeated here. We'll shift to the next one. Atiyoga, Ayoga, and Mithya Yoga of Indriyas. The next concept here is mentioned. Any of the Indriyas, if undergoes Atiyoga, Ayoga, or Mithya Yoga, then there is Vikara Utpatti and Buddhi Upadhata. Vikara Utpatti can happen to any Indriya pertaining rogas. So, any Indriya, say for example, Chakshur Indriya, when you do Atiyoga of Chakshur Indriya, then you have tiredness and anything related to the eyes, which is caused by Atiyoga. Or if there is Ayoga, if you do not see properly, or if you don't see at all, if you're closing your eyes always, if you're not using your Chakshu properly, then also there is Ayoga, then also there is Vikara Utpatti. And when you do Mithya Yoga, when you look at a very bright light or anything like that, then also there is Vikara Utpatti and Buddhi Upadhata. You will not be able to get the Indriya Buddhi properly. Like if you want to see, you will not be able to see properly. The Indriya Buddhi or the Chakshu Buddhi will not be proper. So that is called Buddhi Upadhata here. You will not be able to get the proper information, whatever has to be got, if that Indriya was properly utilized. Samayoga will help in Buddhi Apyayana. It will increase the amount of knowledge that you get out of that particular Indriya. And there is also Prakriti Sthapana because you are maintaining the normal functioning of that particular Indriya. Next, the Artha of Manas. So we have dealt about Indriyas and then now we come to the Manas. The Artha of Manas is Chintana. Okay. And it's Atiyoga, Mithya Yoga, and Ayoga will cause Vikara. Same as we dealt about the Indriyas. So Chintana is to the capacity of thinking. So the Arha of Manas has the capacity of thinking. If you do excessive thinking, if you do wrong thinking, if you do not think at all, then there is causes of, then that is the cause of any Vikara Utpatti. Samyak Yoga will maintain the Prakriti same. So, what is the Samyak Yoga of all of these Indriyas, all the Panchendriyas and also the Manas? What is Samanaska? The person can be the person who wants to be Samanaska and Anupatapta, like who does not want any stress or tensions in his life and who wants to be very calm. What he has to do is Satmya Indriyartha Samyoga. Okay. He should avoid Asatmya Indriyartha and he should follow Sa Atma Indriyartha Samyoga. He should be conscious of doing or utilizing his Indriyas always. He should be Sa Atma. He should not be using with Ayoga, Atiyoga, or Mithya Yoga. It should always be in Samyak Yoga. Actions have to be with proper understanding with the help of Buddhi. He should know what he is doing and he should know the results of whatever he is doing. If he is doing Ati Yoga, he should know that, okay, I am doing Ati Yoga now, so I should reduce it. If he is doing Ayoga, then the person should understand that, okay, I'm doing Ayoga now, so let me use it proper, let me use it more. If he is doing Mithya Yoga, the person has to understand that, okay, this is going in a wrong track, let me get it right back onto the track. If he knows, if he has this buddhi of understanding what level of action he is doing, then he will be able to be Samanaska and Anupatapta, as we saw in the first 2 points here. Next, he should also avoid doing he should be doing Viparita Upasana of Desha, Kala and Atma. See, what happens is we saw in the first chapter itself, Samanyam, Vruddhikaram and Vishesham, Rasakaram. So, Viparita Upasana of Desha, Kala and Atma, he should always do on the opposite gunas, because we do not want Prakopa to happen, we do not want Atiyoga to happen, so we should always do it on the Viparita Upasana. All actions at all time by everyone has to be done by keeping in mind about all the possibilities with respect to Sadvritta. So Sadvritta we have seen, we'll also be seeing. So any person, when he's doing any action, any time, he should always keep in mind about Sadvritta. So it means like he should not go beyond Sadvritta always. What happens if he does all of these is he will get 2 benefits at once, that is Aragvadhiya and Indriya Vijaya. So this Indriya Vijaya is the major goal of explaining this chapter, Indriyopakramaniya. So if a person is able to follow all of these Sadvrittas and maintaining Satmendriyartha Samyoga, understanding about Indriya, Indriyartha, Manas, everything, and then if he does all the actions, then he will maintain Arogya and also will get Indriya Vijaya. So the next topic is about Sadvritta. Okay. So here there are more like, just give me a minute. Okay. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Until 28th shloka, from 18th shloka, that is like 10 shlokas. Here it is not even 10 shlokas, these are 10 proses or paragraphs actually. 10 proses are all about Sadvritta, which are explained with respect to different perspectives. Some Sadvritta is about the Manasika actions, some are about the physical actions, some are what is the Sadvritta that you have to follow in your workplace, what is the Sadvritta that you have to follow when you are doing Adhyayana, what are the Sadvrittas to follow when you are doing any Havanas. So there are so many perspectives given about Sadvritta. Here Sadvritta does not mean anything just about your physical activities. It is also at different levels. Okay. So we'll just look into a few of them. I have mentioned everything, but we'll just start to understand a few of them. So this is the basic Sadvritta, whichever is explained in sloka number 18. So he says it is Sadvritta Varnana. So the first one is Deva, Go, Brahmana, Guru, Vriddha, Siddha, Acharyan, Archayet. All of these people has to be worshipped. Agni Mupacharet, one has to always worship the fire. Oshadhihi Prashastadharayet, he should always use proper Oshadhi for his personal usage also. Dvau Kala Upasprishet is he has to take bath twice in a day. Malayanishu Abhikshnam Padayoscha Vaimalyam Adhyaya. He should always maintain the cleanliness of all the Malayanas and Pada. This is it. All of these may seem like repetition, but repetition is always to make sure that everything is told in the proper amount of time and the person is able to understand properly. That is only the reason why this repetition happens. Pakshasya Keshash Mashru Nakhal Keshash Mashru Loma Nakhan Samharayet, which means in 15 days he has to do it 3 times. What? He has to trim his kesha, mashru, loma, and nakha. So it's like every 5 days he has to do it. Trihi pakshasya. In one paksha there are 15 days. So in 15 days if he has to do it 3 times, then it is every 5 days once. Nityam anupahata vasaha. He has to wear proper clean dresses. Sumanaha sugandhihi syat. He should always have pleasant mindset and he should always be able to get good odor from his body. Sugandhihi. Sadhu Veshaha, he should always look modest. Prasiddha Keshaha, he should always keep his hairs clean. Murdha Shrotra Ghrana Padataila Nityaha, he should always oil his head, ears, Ghrana is nostrils, Pada is the feet. Dhumapaha, he should always follow Dhumapana as it is explained in the Dhumapana Vidhihi. Purva Abhibhashi, he should always know how to talk. Sumukhaha, he should always have pleasant face. Then Hota, Yashta, Data, he should always do Hotras. He should always have good amount of pleasant behavior towards others. Data, he should always be ready to give away whatever he has for others. Next, in the next line you see, Mahotsaha, Dakshaha, Kshamavan, Dharmikaha, Astikaha, Vinaya Buddhi Vidyabhijana Vayovriddha Siddha Acharyanam Upasika. He should always worship whoever has these qualities. He should always carry Chhatra, Danda and Mauli, like the lights. He should always carry an umbrella and also a stick whenever he is walking. And whenever he is walking, he should always look until Yuga Matra Drigvichariye. For 1 Yuga distance, he should always have his eyes open. Mangalachara Shilaha, Kutela, Asti, Kantaka, Amedhya, Kesha, Tusha, Utkara, Bhasma, Kapala Sanan, Bali Bhuminam Pariharta. He should not carry any of these and he should not go near these things, he says. So the last line, whatever says, is difficult to follow. Satyasandha, Sama Pradhanaha, Parapurusha Vachana Sahishnuhu. Oh my god, this is so difficult. Parapurusha Vachana Sahishnuhu. Even if the other person says bad or harsh about you, then you have to say, okay, fine, it's okay. Let me take this. Amar Shagnaha, Prashama Gunadarshi, Ragadvesha Hetunam Hanta. He should always let go of Raga and Dvesha. Okay. So again, the same Sadvritta continues. This explanation is from shloka number 19. Na antratam bruyat, he should not lie. Na Anyasvam adadita, he should not do theft. Na anyastriyam abhilashen na anyashriyam. Abhilashet na anyashriyam. Yeah. He should not, he should not feel that the other lady is for himself. Na vairam rochayet, he should not always think about having enmity with the other person. Na kuryat papam, he should not do any bad deeds. Na pape api papi syat, even if he has any surrounding people who does papa, he should not go with them or he should not support them. Na anyadoshan bruyat, he should not tell the negative comments about anybody. Na anya rahasyam agamayin, he should not try to pull out the secrets of the other person. Na adharmikaihi, na narendradvishtaihi, na sahasita, na uttamair, na patitair, na bhrunahantrughirna kshudrair na dushtaihi. So he says, with all of these people, you should never sit. Who are those? Who are adharmika? Who is narendradvishta? Like who is Narendra here does not mean any person. Sorry. Or any other devas or nothing like that. Narendra here means king, without any offense, of course. Narendra here means king. Narasya Indraha is Narendraha. Whoever is the king of the humans, he is called Narendra. Not concentrating here on any person. Narendra Dushtaihi, who hates the king. No, like a person should not sit with all of these people, is what the Acharya says here. Now, Uttamahi, with superiors or Patitaihi, the inferiors or whoever has lost in their lives, with all of those people, he should not sit. Bhruna Hantrubhi, who does Bhruna Hatya, with those people, no, a person should not sit. Kshudrairna Dushtaihi, he should not sit with any bad people. Okay. So next is Nauchai Haset. Nauchair Haset. Nobody should laugh too loud. Na Shabdavantam Marutam Munchet. He should not try to hold the air inside the body or outside. Na Anavratam Mukhau Jrimbhakshvatu Hasyam Va Pravartayet. He should always cover his mouth when he is yawning, or when he's sneezing, or when he's laughing. Na nasikam kushniya, he should not twist his nose. Na dantan vidhattayet, he should not bite his teeth. Na nakhan vadayet, he should not play songs or play music from the nails. Na asthini abhihanyat, like he should not hit with his bones. Na bhumi milikhet, nobody should write on the bhumi. Na chindya trinam, no grasses has to be broken unnecessarily. Na loshtam ridniyat, nobody has to do mardana of loshta. Loshta is stones, so those things should not be squeezed or rubbed with each other. And then any other important things? Na bhayam utpadayet, na sahasa ati swarna prajagara, everything. Sadvritta related to Bhojana Vidhi, we have seen this in all our Bhojana Vidhis. Next we have about Malatyaga Vidhi, where a person has to do Malatyaga and where he should not do Malatyaga. Na Anduchuhu Kshuyan, na Adyan, na Shayita. A person should not sleep wherever the land is unstable or has ups and downs, or he should not do Malatyaga in that place also. Na Vegito Anyakaryaha Syat. If he has any Vegas, he should first finish that and then do any work he has. He should not control the Vegas and then do any work. Okay. Next we have Sadvritta related to Stri Sahavasa, with whom a person has to have Stri Sahavasa and with whom he should not have. There is a list here again. And then we have Sadvritta related to Adara, how a person has to be modest with the people, and how he has to respect others. Na sato na gurun parivadet. He should not tell back answers to Satpurusha and Gurus. Na ashuchihi abhichara karmehi chaitya puja adhyanam abhinirvartayet. So if he's ashuchi or if he's doing any abhichara, he should not do any of the following things. Next, what we have is Sadvritta related to Adhyayana. When a person has to study and when a person should not study. So this is very, very important for students. Whenever they should not study, it is whenever there is bhukampa, whenever there is mahotsava, whenever there is ulkapata, at any of these points, at any of these times, there should not be adhyayana done. Next, na tantam, na viswaram, na anavasthita padam, nati dhrutam, na vilambitam. He should not read too loud, he should not read too low, nothing. He should always keep it in the midpoint, is what the author wants to tell us here. Next, Sadvritta related to actions, what he should do in action, the physical actions. He says, na atisamayam jahyat, na niyanam bhindyat. He should not stay awake for a long time. He should not the rules at any point of time. Nanaktam na dese charet. In night, he should not walk around in unknown places. Na sandhyasu abhyavahara adhyena stri swapna sevi syat. In sandhya kala, either in the morning, in the dawn, or the dusk, he should not do abhyavahara, adhyena, stri sevana, and swapna sevana. These are the rules and regulations about whatever should not be done in Sandhya Kala. Na bala vruddha lubdha murkha klishta klibaihi saha sakhyam kuryat. You should never make friendship with bala, very young person, vruddha, old people. Lubdha here means who has varied mindset. Murkha, who does not have proper knowledge or information or intellect. Klishta is whoever is in very disruptive phase. Kliba is whoever is having dhatu karshana, that is called kliba. With all of these people, there should not be friendship done. Next, we have Sadvritta related to manas. So I told you that Sadvritta is explained in different levels. So we saw all about the physical levels. We saw about Adhyayana. We saw about Adara. We saw about the actions. Now we are coming to the Sadvritta related to manas. Na adhiro. He should never be scared of anything. Nati uchrita sattva syat. Na ati uchrita sattva. The person should be overconfident. Na abhritabhrityaha, he should always try to support all his family members and siblings. Na avishrabdha svajanaha, he should always safeguard his svajana. Na ekasukihi, he should not always be selfish. Na dukkha shilacharoparaha, he should never do anything that will get dukkha. Na sarva vishrambhi, he should never be lazy always. Na sarvabhishankhi, he should never keep doubting on every single thing. Na sarva kala vichari, he should not be a person who is thinking always. Next. Next slide is Sadvritta related to workplace. In workplace, how a person has to be. And the last topic is about Sadvritta related to Havana, how a Havana has to be performed and where it has to be performed, where it should not be performed. Everything is mentioned in these two topics, which are the last two slokas of the Sadvritta. proper amount of jnana, to attain all the jnanas, to always be doing dana, to always have good maitri with every single person around him, and to always be karunya sahita. That means to always have karuna bhava among all the people, whoever is there. And then harsha, he should always try to be happy. Harsha upeksha, so he should always try to do all of these. Upeksha is to try attaining all of these, and prashama parashta, he should always try to have kshamata, or he should always try to be under control of any other negative things. This is all the summary of all the Sadvritta, and very important if you want to mention it in your exams, because it is, I understand that it's very difficult for you to by heart any of these shlokas, any of these Sadvritta related shlokas, because they are all in prose format. So it is always better if you try to remember this particular small sloka and uh, execute in your examination. So that was all about today's session about the two chapters of Aragvadhiya Adhyaya and Indriyopakramaniya Adhyaya. Tomorrow we will meet with two more chapters, and tomorrow will be the sixth day, and tomorrow we'll meet with two more chapters. Sorry for the disturbance in between because of the internet issues and rain and everything. But I hope I have communicated, or I have given you good information about these two chapters. Thank you so much. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.